Namaskar. Welcome to the lesson number 13 under chapter number 2, analysis methodology. In this lesson, I am going to explain you the important topic called birth time rectification. What is BTR and what is the authentic method of doing the birth time rectification as per EPS system, and the benefits and the what are the steps to be followed in BTR. Everything I will be discussing in this lesson. This lesson is going to be completely a theory portion, and application of the rules and practically how we are going to do the BTR with the example chart that I will be doing in a separate chapter under birth time rectifications. But for this is most important thing. So you have to understand and follow the steps what are given in this lesson. Birth time rectification as per EPS. Rectification of the birth time just by fixing the Lagna sublord or Lagna subsublord with the help of the ruling planets at the time of judgment will not be authentic all the time. That you have to keep it in mind. Ruling planets can be taken only as supportive tool while rectifying the birth time. Fixation of not only ascendant but also cuspal sublord of other important cusps is called birth time rectification. Not just fixing the lagna is called birth time rectification, but most of the people are, taking the lagna, fixing the lagna sublord or lagna subsublord to the transit ruling planets, moon rulers are connected to the lagna rulers. They're thinking that that is the birth time rectification. No, that is not the authentic one. Not only the fixing the lagna, but also fixation of the cuspal sublord of the important other cusps also is called birth time rectification. Fixation of the cuspal sublord of the important cusps based on the verification of the past events or some other details related to that house matters is more authentic and reliable. This BTR will be useful in further accurate predictions. Hence, birth time rectification is the first process to be done by the astrologer before proceeding to the further analysis and predictions. We can say birth time verification. First, we have to do the verification, then only if it is required, it has to be rectified. So, birth time verification is the first process to be done by the astrologer before proceeding to the further analysis and predictions on the birth chart. But for this process, a good practice and knowledge in timing of events as per EPS is required. So BTR can be done well once you are well versed with the analysis methodology and timing of event. Because BTR is nothing but the reverse process of the timing of event. Simply, I can say that. The need or purpose of birth time rectification. Normally, the verification of the birth time and rectification of the birth time is done for the following purposes. One is finding the correct birth time. It means birth time rectification is demanded by the client since he or she is having doubt on the birth time or does not know the correct birth time, but knows only the time range in which he or she was born. So in this case, that requirement itself is birth time rectification. Next one is verification on the accuracy of the birth time by the astrologer before studying the birth chart for any predictions. Here, The native is not demanding any rectification, but it's the duty of the astrologer to verify the accuracy of the birth time. This is mandatory to check even if the client is saying that the time is correct as per the records, but there can be minor difference in noting down the birth time by many means. Because what is birth time? Birth time is first breath is the birth time. How last breath is the death? First breath is the birth time. So nobody knows exactly when the child, as soon as is coming out of the mother's womb, when it is exactly taking its birth time. So there can be some difference in the birth time by a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. Even in the present period, there are chances that seconds or 1 or 2 minutes also possible in noting down the birth time. So it's our duty to verify the accuracy of the birth time, even the given birth time as per record is correct. I hope you have understood. What is the necessity for doing the birth time rectification? The birth time of the native is necessarily to be verified and fixed for the following reasons. Number one, when the birth time is even different by 1 or few minutes, it can cause some changes in the cuspal sublot of one or more cusps in the birth chart. Suppose the child is born at 6:30 a.m. In that Lagna cuspal sublot, for example, it is Saturn, and say fifth cuspal sublot, say for example, it is Jupiter, and say seventh cuspal sublot, for example, it is Mercury. Just I have taken only 3 cusps for discussion. When the birth time is even different by 1 or 2 few minutes, suppose if instead of 6:30, the birth time is 6:27 a.m. Now that Lagna sublot Saturn, just by 3 minutes, it may or may not change, because this is going to be last for more minutes. Suppose that fifth cuspal sublot or seventh sublot, if they are in border, it means just with the 3 minutes, that fifth cuspal sublot Jupiter can become Rahu also. Without any change in the Lagna sublot, fifth cuspal sublot can change, seventh cuspal sublot also can change, even other cuspal sublots can get changed without any change in the Lagna sublot. I hope you have understood. So, when one birth time is different, even 1 or 2 few minutes, it can cause some changes in the cuspal sublot of one or more cusps in the birth chart. When the cuspal sublot planet is changed, it will lead to change in the cuspal sublot signification of the planet. For example, in this case, I said Jupiter is, say, fifth cuspal sublot. So, in the self-signification of the Jupiter, Jupiter will have the fifth cuspal sublot in its CSL houses. When the time is 3 minutes reduced, that Jupiter can lose its fifth cuspal sublot signification. Instead of that, Rahu will take it. So now when Jupiter is losing its fifth cuspal sublot signification, Jupiter for the progeny prospects, that signification CL, OCC, CST, CSL, because of the CSL is not having 5, its favorable key planet strength can get reduced or increased for some other event, right? It means when the cuspal sublot planet is changed, it will lead to change in the cuspal sublot signification of the planet. What will happen when the cuspal sublord houses are changed? The strength of that planet in its self-signification can vary. Now that Jupiter will lose its fifth cuspal sublord, when time is changed, it can get cuspal sublord for the fourth house or eighth house also. So what will happen? Jupiter's significations for the particular event, say for example, we are talking about progeny prospects, instead of fifth cuspal sublord, it is getting the fourth sublord or other unfavorable cuspal sublord. That planet self strength will vary. So what will happen on account of that? This will cause impact on the strength of the key planets for an event. So Jupiter can be favorable, strong favorable key planet for the event of progeny because fifth cuspal sublord and also having some self-signification strength. When it is losing its strength, it will that the key planet strength will get reduced when it is losing. But if it is getting other cuspal sublord, say fourth cuspal sublord or 10th sublord or eighth sublord by change in the birth timing of birth time, so that is also possible. So when it is getting the unfavorable cuspal sublord, what will happen? That Jupiter being the favorable key planet for the event, for the child birth, and that will become mixed key planet or unfavorable key planet also. That's what I said. When cuspal sublord planet changed, this will lead to change in the cuspal sublord signification of the planet. And when cuspal sublord are changed, the strength of the planet in self signification will vary. This will cause impact on the strength of the key planets for that event. I hope you have understood. Because of this, a favorable or unfavorable key planet can become mixed key planet, or mixed key planet can become favorable or unfavorable also. Right now, suppose fourth cuspal sublord planet or unfavorable cuspal sublord planet, by adjusting the birth time, that can get some favorable houses in CSL that can make that planet, if it can be a mixed planet, but because of the change in the cuspal sublord, it can become favorable also or more unfavorable also. So what I'm trying to say, when birth time is little reduced, that can lead to changes in the some cuspal sublords, that can lead to changes in the self-signification strength of some planets, that can lead to the key planet strengths. Automatically, what will happen when key planet is changed? When the strength of a key planet changes, it can cause impact on the destiny and DBA planet signification and also timing of event. Because we know that based on the key planet strength, based on the key planets, we take the planet's strength and planet level, star level, sub level when we are studying. Based on that, we are analyzing a planet strength, and that will be more useful in the timing of event also. When these cuspal sublord changes, that can change the DBA planet significations and also the timing of event. I hope you have understood what is the necessity for the birth time rectification. Please understand, here we are not just talking about the fixation of the Lagna sublord. As I said, Lagna sublord can remain the same, but there can be some changes in the other cuspal sublords that can lead to strength of the changes in the strength of the some planets, and also the particular house matters and destiny also, and also that will affect in the timing of event. Hence, fixation of the cuspal sublord of the important cusp is required, and this is called correct BTR. I hope you have understood. So, note, when we fix the cuspal sublord for one cusp, based on verifying that house matters, that cuspal sublord can last for 3 to 9 minutes. Suppose you are verifying the timing of event of the marriage, you are fixing that seventh cuspal sublord is Mercury is well matching to the event, and that you want to fix that seventh cuspal sublord as Mercury. That Mercury can last for 3 to 9 minutes, approximately, not 3 to 9 minutes. Mercury can last for 9 minutes. Suppose if it is Ketu, it can last for 3 minutes. So depending on the sublots, that duration of the cuspal sublot will be there. So within 9 minutes duration, or within 3 to 9 minutes duration of the cuspal sublot, which minute that seventh cuspal sublot, which minute has to be fixed? Because within that 9 minutes duration, the cuspal sublot will remain the same, whether 6:30 a.m. or 6:37 a.m. The seventh cuspal sublot can remain Mercury, but within that minutes difference, 7 minutes or 5 minutes or 1 minutes difference, there can be change in the cuspal sublot of the other cusps. Without changing this Mercury, the other cuspal sublot can change within this duration of 9 minutes of, for example, for the Mercury. In case of the seventh sublot is Ketu, you want to fix it, then within 2-3 minutes, if you adjust, seventh sublot will remain the same, but it can give some changes in the other cusps also. So that we have to keep it in mind. So we have to look into the changes in other cuspal sublot and their impact on the events or information related to those houses. So when we are adjusting the birth time, we have to look into the changes that is happening in the other important cuspal sublots. So then what sort of impact it is happening on that particular events related to the particular house, we have to keep it in mind. Hence, combined study is required on the given information or events while fixing the cuspal sublot of the cusp. I am telling about not only events but also information. Information means some details related to that house that also will be useful in fixing the cuspal sublot of that particular house. Hope you have understood on this. It is always recommended to check the cuspal sublot of the all 12 cusps if any cuspal sublots are in the border or margin before proceeding the BTR. For example, fifth cuspal sublot is Saturn and sub-sublot is Jupiter. Because the cuspal sub-sublot will be useful in identifying the duration of the cuspal sublot. It indicates what? Fifth cuspal sublot Saturn is in the margin. By 1 minute increase in the birth time can change the fifth cuspal sublot Saturn from Saturn to Mercury. I hope you can understand. Similarly, for example, seventh cuspal sublot, suppose it is Mercury. And sub-sublot, seventh cuspal sub-sublot also Mercury. It indicates what? Mercury is just started. Here Saturn is going to end. Here Mercury just started. In this case, 1 minute reduction in the birth time also can change this Mercury become from cuspal sublot Mercury can become Saturn. Right? So this way, just 1 minute increase or decrease can change in the cuspal sublot also. So when we are, before going to do the processing of BTR, it is better to check all the 12 cusps in the cuspal position if any cuspal sublots are in border this way or this way. So that will help in identifying which are the cusps are in border, so that house matters will be, when we are going to study that house matters, we have to be careful. Okay, these cuspal sublots are already in border. So any changes in this birth time that can lead to change in the cuspal sublot, that could lead to change in the house matters of a planet, and that can lead to change in the key planet strength, that can lead to change in the destiny changes, that can lead to change in the timing of event also. I hope you have understood what I'm trying to say that. So if check if any change by increasing or decreasing the time by 1 or 2 minutes, and this will give some indication before proceeding the further verification on those events related to these houses. How to fix the cuspal sublot of the important cusps? By verifying the important past and present events or details the native provides, we can fix the cuspal sublot of those primary houses of those events. By reverse process of the timing of events, we can find if the birth time is correct or it needs any rectification. Suppose the native is giving date of marriage and so and so. With the help of the date of marriage, okay, we can check whether that Dasa Bhuktī Antara during which the date of marriage is falling, as per EPS standards and rules, it is indicating that Bhuktī and Antara are favorable for giving or strong enough to favor for the event. So we are doing the reverse process of the timing of events. If we are comfortable, if we are satisfactorily, okay, seeing that, okay, that planets are favorable. So by doing the reverse process of the timing of event, we can find if the birth time is correct or not. Suppose if it is not correct, if you feel that that birth time seems to be incorrect because that DBA in which he got married, it is not matching as per the EPS standards, so it needs birth time can be incorrect and it may be needing rectification. So based on the verification on more events or details, we can fix the cuspal sublot of those cusps accurately, not just with one single event. More and more events we are getting or details we are getting, that will be more useful in fixing the cuspal sublot of the respective cusps. How to do it? Get the important life events. Check the DBA periods falling in those dates, as I explained for the marriage. Check if those DBA planets are strongly favoring for those events as per EPS rules. If they seem not be satisfactorily signifying such events, check if the cuspal sublot of those rulers of these DBA planets may need any change. It means when you are studying on Bugdilad planet, star lord, and sublord you are verifying, you feel that that Bugdi has given the marriage. But if you look at the star lord significance, sublord signification, especially at the cuspal sublord of the star lord and sublord, if they are having some unfavorable cuspal sublots or not having favorable, so it indicates what? Though CLOCC can be favorable, CST also can be favorable, but CSL seems to be little weaker. So, but the other planet is comparatively better, but this planet only has given the event, marriage especially. It means what? Definitely the star-lord planet or sub-lord planet should be better. So we have to see that whether by adjusting if the cuspal sub-lord of those rulers of these DBA planets may need any change. By adjusting the time minute by minute, plus or minus, if it causes any changes in the cuspal sublord of the particular rulers of those planets, so that they favor for the event. By adjusting the birth time, 1 minute you can adjust the star lord planet cuspal sublord can become favorable, or sublord's unfavorable cuspal sublord become, that unfavorable can be changed. It can become favorable also. So that we have to do that one. Check if the cuspal sublord of the primary houses of those events are indicating such destiny also. Suppose the person is saying that my marital life is very weak, or he got married in so and so period. So definitely we have to check the seventh cuspal sublord. If you check the seventh cuspal sublord for the given time, if it is indicating very strongly favorable significations for the marriage, but when he is saying that he is facing trouble and marital life is not good, so definitely the seventh cuspal sublord may be wrong. So by verifying the timing of event of marriage and also, keeping in consideration on the destiny, we can say that seventh cuspal sublord needs to be different. I hope you have understood. Note, though I have noted as fixing the cuspal sublord all the places, but it is but also indirectly indicates the fixation of the primary cuspal rulers, sign lord, star lord, and sublord. Why I am focusing on the cuspal sublord, but within few minutes difference, only the cuspal sublord only change, not the star lord and the sign lord. But sometime, if the cuspal star lord itself is in border, by adjusting the birth time, the star lord also can change. So we have to keep it in mind, sign lord, star lord, sub lord changes also sometime. The combined study on this sign, star, and sub of the primary curves will be useful in finding the destiny prospects of that house matters, and such study will be useful in finding the nature of profession, disease, etc. Because Kaspal Lord, Kaspal Star Lord, and Kaspal Sublord of Lagna or sixth house definitely indicate the type of diseases. And also, 10th rulers, sign lord, star lord, sublord, will be useful in finding the nature of profession. So, by suppose somebody is saying that I am in so and so profession. So, that 10th rulers, including Kaspal sublord of the 10th house, if you study, if it is matching to the profession he is talking about, then that also will be more useful in fixing the cuspal sublord of the particular house matters. I hope you got it. What are the details that we can get from the native for the verification of the cuspal sublord of the important houses? Some of the details that can be useful in verification on the cuspal sublord of the some houses. What are they? If you get date of marriage, seventh and sixth cuspal sublord can be verified together because seventh house is hero and sixth house is villain. So when we are adjusting the birth time or verifying the timing of event, not only the seventh house, sixth house also will be playing role. Sixth cuspal sublord also will be playing role in giving the unfavorable signification. So always when we are studying one event, we have to check that unfavorable how a cuspal sublord to that particular event also has to be considered combinedly. Late marriage or unmarried status also can be verified. Suppose the person is saying that is not yet married, how to check it? But he is saying that, my marriage is getting delayed. I can say it is instead of late marriage, delayed marriage. Or unmarried status. Suppose he's saying that I have not married yet, and I'm still, 35 plus or 40 plus or 50 plus. It means that he is not at all married. It means definitely we just seventh cuspal sublord when you study, it will strongly indicate the denial of marriage. So that information, though date of marriage is not there, absence of marriage also can be found from the seventh cuspal sublord. So that also will be useful in fixing the seventh cuspal sublord. Similarly, date of childbirth. Fifth cusp and fourth cuspal sublord can be verified. Date of childbirth. With the help of the timing of event. And no progeny status. Suppose, despite after the marriage of say 5 years or 10 years, if that they have not got any child, or they say that the childbirth is into trouble, so definitely fifth cuspal sublord will be indicating that. So though no progeny status also is like an event that we can take it into consideration to fix the fifth cuspal sublord and of course fourth cuspal sublord. Date of first foreign travel. 3, 9, 12 cuspal sublord can be verified. Characteristics and nature of the person. Lagna Kaspal sublord can be verified. Of course, Lagna Rasi Lord, Sign Lord, Star Lord, and sublord of the Lagna all put together will be playing role in finalizing the characteristics of the and nature of the person. Importantly, Lagna sublord also has to be considered. Health issue related events. First cusp and sixth cuspal sublord can be verified. Nature of disease. 1, 6, importantly, sixth cuspal sublord can be verified. As I said, sixth cuspal lord, sign lord, and sixth cuspal star lord, and sixth cuspal sublord combinedly will be more useful in finding the nature of the disease. Job or business. Joined and change period, when he got the job, when he lost the job, or destiny prospects of that profession, whether it is that job is, he is having the stable job or progressive job, or instability is there. So that can be checked with the past events, joined dates, and changed periods by verifying the Dasa Bhukti Antara periods in which it has happened. By that, we can fix the 6th, 10th, and 5th cuspal sublord can be verified. Nature of profession, as I said, for the 6th house, 10th cuspal rulers, if you check, that also can be useful in verifying the nature of profession. 6th, 10th lord, 10th star lord, and 10th sublord, those planet signification and karagatva can be useful in verifying the nature of profession. And ninth cuspal rulers in the child's birth chart can be useful in fixing the Lagna sublord. Because for the child, for example, the child is there. Child, if you look at the ninth rulers is Lagna of the father in the child's chart. Lagna, ninth lord, ninth star lord, and ninth sublord, it will be there. If you check the ninth cuspal sublord, definitely it will have connection to the Lagna Kaspal sublord of the father, and of course moon rulers of the father also. That also we can consider. That will be useful, because when we are analyzing some events, verifying some events, sometime we will have these Kaspal sublord, two Kaspal sublord next to each other, maybe fixing, maybe matching. So we, out of that, which is important, which can be fixed, we'll have some doubt. For that, in that cases, checking such events, such details also will be more useful in fixing the particular cuspal sublord. By checking the father's profession, sixth cuspal sublord can be verified, because sixth house is the 10th house to the 9th house. So father's profession can be verified through the 6th cuspal ruler, especially 6th cuspal sublord can be verified. I'm not saying that we have to check all these things. Out of this, which are the details we are able to get it, so we can make use of these details to fix up the particular cuspal sublords. Please understand, when we are fixing one or two cuspal sublords, by automatically other cuspal sublords will get narrowed down. Whereas when we are adjusting the birth time, one or two cuspal sublord we can fix it. Within that cuspal sublord, other cuspal sublord also will get changed. That will also further support in fixing those cuspal sublords. Another point also there, verifying the birth star of the spouse and blood relations with the cuspal sublord of the respective houses in the natal chart. But this can be taken only as the supportive tool. Just with this, we cannot fix the cuspal sublord, because sometimes the particular cuspal sublord, for example, wife's birth star is, suppose wife birth star is Venus, or wife moon sign and moon star is connected to Saturn and Venus. Seventh cuspal sublord can be verified, but seventh cuspal sublord can be Venus itself, or it can be Saturn. Directly, if it is present, no problem. but sometimes it can be indirectly also connected. So the seventh cuspal sublord Venus also will be matching to the wife's birth star, or seventh sublord if it is, suppose if it is Ketu, if Ketu also, if it can match to the wife's birth star. So in both the sublords, that seventh cuspal sublord can match. That is, the wife's birth star can match. So we cannot decide whether the birth star of the wife is directly connecting. So it means what? Definitely wife's birth star will get connected to the seventh cuspal sublord in the chart, but not always directly. It can be indirectly also. So while we are doing this process, after doing the cuspal sublord, we have done it by verifying the past events. This verification on the birth star of the wife or spouse and blood relatives, it will be useful in confirmation. Not based on that, we cannot confirm it, but this can be used as the supportive tool which is confirming that. So here, wife birth star in case of husband, in case of wife, it is husband's birth chart. Similarly, first child's birth star, fifth cuspal sublord can be verified. Father's birth star, ninth cuspal sublord can be verified. Mother's birth star, fourth cuspal sublord can be verified. Here I am saying birth star in the sense, in that chart, mother chart, moon in whose sign, Rasi Lord, and in whose star. So that position of the moon, that is the birth star, moon birth star. Na? So that star lord or sign lord will definitely will get connected to the cuspal sublord of the fourth house. Fourth cuspal sublord will have connection to the moon star lord of the mother. I hope you have understood. Based on the verification on one or more events or details, we can fix the cuspal sublord of those cusps. So not just with the one event. If you take more and more, details, if you take it, that will be more useful in fixing the cuspal sublord of those houses. This such detailed analysis verification is required when the native is saying that, sir, I was born between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. or I have a doubt 6:10 to 6:20 a.m. is my birth time. I'm not sure about the actual birth time. So with 10 minutes duration, so within 10 minutes duration, the cuspal sublord can become one or two cuspal sublord will vary. So for to fix the particular minute, so we may need to check all the important events. So we can by that way we can fix the correct minute. You understand? Suppose he is saying that he was born in 10 a.m. He is giving the time as 6:10 a.m. only, the correct time. He is not having any doubt. But we are having doubt with maybe 1 or 2 minutes plus and minus. So in that case, by verifying the important event, that itself will be useful in fixing the correct minute. Not required to check all the events. But in this case, when the birth time is not known, or the native is saying that range of period between this time to this time, or is having the doubt on the birth time, it is better to check more and more events and details. I hope you are able to understand this point. I hope you are able to understand the method of doing the birth time verification and rectification. And it is not so easy. You may be feeling that normally birth time rectification is very simple, and normally what we do, not our basically we are astrologers are doing fixing the lagna rulers with the help of the ruling planet within few seconds, adjusting the seconds or adjusting 1 or 2 minutes, fixing the cuspal sublord or sub-sublord of the lagna within few minutes. They are doing it, but that is not the authentic one, as I explained the reason behind it. It is always better to see when we are adjusting the birth time, what are the impact it is having on not only on the Lagna sublord, but also on the other cuspal sublord, which will lead to the change in the destiny of that particular house matters, but also it will lead to change in the timing of events also. So when I'm going to discuss with the case studies or with example charts, when I'm going to explain in the other chapter, wherein I will be explaining with a few charts with birth time rectification by verifying the important life events, you will understand better. But you have to keep it in mind. BTR is the important process, the first process to be done before we proceeding to analyze for any event. But we can have this birth time rectification process, we can do it well only when you understand how to do the timing of event, what is the importance of the key planets, how to analyze a planet level wise, and how to do the timing of event for important events. If you are able to do that, if you do the reverse process of those events, that is the actual principle of BTR. I hope you are able to understand. We will see with the example charts in the birth time rectification chapter that you will understand better. Thank you.